If you are an actor, the most important thing you should do is avoid injury, since it can delay the movie for months. So if you can't dodge punches, getting a stunt double might be the best thing, but then you would miss all the fun parts. Today we will see the times when Marvel actors who didn't use stuntmen were accidentally injured on set. Shang Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings is full of rapid fight scenes. We can even say most of the movie consists of such action scenes, and the main actor, Simu Liu, had come through at least a couple of injuries. He says one of the worst ones is when he got a solid punch on his face, but he kept going just a few minutes later. Definitely, well done, man. When you hear the phrase, "my back," probably Tobey Maguire comes to mind, but unlike him, Benedict Cumberbatch actually almost broke his back when filming Doctor Strange 1. In the action scene between Scott Adkins and Doctor Strange, Scott should have thrown him into the barriers and punched his chest, but each time he missed Benedict or didn't punch strong enough. After 10 tries, they both thought this must end here and now! So Strange came a bit closer and Scott Adkins punched a bit harder. You might guess where it goes. Benedict broke the barriers and fell on his back. They stopped the filming for 2 weeks until his injury passed by. The hardest part of being Spider-Man is not doing all the flips and acrobatic movements. It's doing all of them with a mask on your face. The actor Tom Holland says he barely sees from the mask. In Homecoming, he says a stunt double didn't give the signal before he punched. Tom Holland just stood there without knowing anything and got the stuntman's fist on his face. It's not the only time Spider-Man's mask injures the actors. Andrew Garfield had problems with his mask too. It's really hard to breathe with this mask already, and in this scene, he was having water inside the mask. It was impossible to take this scene with a mask, so they slightly changed the scenario for that, and Peter Parker gave the mask to the child. It looked better though. The same thing happened to Tom Holland too in this scene. Please, someone make a better Spider-Man suit. Spider-Man actors are not the only ones struggling with their masks. In a night scene, Chadwick Boseman couldn't see because of his mask, and he kicked Andy Serkis' chest so hard. Andy says he couldn't breathe and thought his ribs were broken. After a while, he came back and they took the same scene 30 times again. In the series Agent Carter, the actress Hayley Atwell hit a stunt double with a lead pipe. You might think it's just a bad moment, but this heavy-handed lady injured about 10 more stunt doubles during the filming of Agent Carter. Hayley might hold the record of knocking out the most people on sets. Good luck with her future stunt doubles, and be careful if you will be one of them. This one is also from Shang Chi. The actress Manga Zhang was quite nervous in this scene, and she accidentally punched Simu Liu's face. The funny part is, that scene was included in the final movie. In an interview, she said it's her favorite scene of the film. It was an accident, but it felt good. In Thor: The Dark World, Chris Hemsworth wanted to try Loki's whip, but as soon as he took it, somehow he stepped over it and the whip bumped into his face. He got a scar on the face, and in the rest of the scenes, they covered it with makeup. You remember this actor from the iconic elevator scene in Captain America: The Winter Soldier. Frank Grillo injured at least one person in each movie. Even Scarlett Johansson got her share of Grillo's punches a few times in the Civil War set. But Scarlett says she prefers to not use stunt doubles in such scenes. Frank punched Chris Evans too. In the elevator scene, they both punch each other unlimited times. It took 6 days to film it, and after that, they both walk around with ice packs. The Winter Soldier scenes were full of close-up fights, and Sebastian Stan started training for these movements months before the filming. And on set, they took these scenes in such a short time. But when he went back home, he started to feel all the pain because of the damage. There's a scene in the Avengers where Loki tries to spear Thor, but Thor catches it and elbows him, and the director wanted to take this as a closer scene. Tom Hiddleston had to get closer to fit the frame, and both of them understood they were so close to each other, but they figured it out a bit late, and Hiddleston got Chris's elbow on his face. In another Thor and Loki scene, Tom asked Chris to punch him a bit stronger for more reality in the scene. Asking this man to do something like this is a brave decision. I hope he was fine after that. In Far From Home, Tom Holland says his face was scratched in an action scene, but for not losing time, he continued to play with a bloody face. After that, they removed the blood with CGI. In Thor: The Dark World, Natalie Portman's scene where she slaps Thor's face was not in the original scenario. She suggested it, and after the director's approval, she gave a solid slap to Hemsworth, and they took these scenes more than once. A moment of silence for Chris. Tom Holland says Spider-Man No Way Home scenes were full of blood, sweat, and tears, and he's not exaggerating. The scenes of Green Goblin and Spider-Man weren't easy to play. Tom busted his hand up, and his knuckles were all bloodied, and they were both exhausted. In the original Spider-Man trilogy, Willem Dafoe scratched Tobey Maguire's jaw too. It looks like Goblin is the toughest villain for Spider-Man in real life too. So far, we understand sometimes you might need more than you think to play in Marvel movies. That was it for this video. Thank you for watching.